Hello friends, today's video is going to be all about how to navigate the people in your life or who you come into contact with who may not accept and or respect the journey that you are on. And I really wanted to share two things that really helped me in my recovery journey with this. First of all, setting boundaries. This is so important. Something that helped me a lot was visualizing boundaries as fences. When you are in different places and spaces within your life and yourself, the fences that you need to put up to protect and promote yourself and your core self's needs differ. Just in the same way that with different people in different settings, fences can and do need to look different and play different roles. And the thing I love about this is I think it's a really great way to recognize that actually boundaries are something that there is fluidity within. A boundary is not just one thing, that it's this blanket thing of right, that's how it is. Actually, healthful boundaries have variety to them. They have a fluidity that changes depending on where you are at, and also they change depending on the environment or the people with which you are setting them around or with. And so, with some people, in particular context to the topic of this video, of dealing with those people who may not be accepting or respecting your journey, it may be that with some of those people, a picket fence is all you need, and setting that boundary at that level. And that may just be a simple form of conversation with that person to express that actually you wish that they didn't speak about that around you and that this is the journey that you're on and it would be more helpful if you could have conversation around this. A picket fence boundary. That can be all that is needed, and that other person may really respect that and think, okay, I hear that boundary, I respect it. However, there are also people that picket fences just don't cut it. And actually you try a normal kind of mid-height fence and that just doesn't cut it. And so actually what you need is a brick wall, and you might even need some razor wire on the top. Obviously, this is all very metaphorical, but I think there's something really powerful about taking that visual and applying it to the various different ways that you can set boundaries with people, and understanding that with different people and when you are in different places, boundaries can, do and will need to look different. And even with the same person, it can be that in different times and ways that boundary might need to shift. And so I found the fence analogy, that kind of fence metaphor, so helpful in visualizing that. And also this metaphor really helped me to understand that boundaries are not just for me. Setting a boundary is not just to protect and promote you and your needs. Yes, it absolutely is about that, and it serves that purpose and plays that role. But it can also be a really helpful way to provide clarity to the people on the other side of that boundary. And that is especially important when dealing with those who may not be respecting or accepting your journey that you are on. So, first of all, setting boundaries. And secondly, the absolutely crucial thing that comes up time and time again in recovery, which is focusing on your path, your plate, your body, and your recovery. It is critical in recovery to remember that you cannot control what other people say, do, think, or feel. You have no control over that. Yes, you can set those boundaries. Yes, you can have those conversations. Yes, you can try to pass on education or resources to people to try and broaden understanding. But at the end of the day, you have no control over what other people choose to think, feel, do, believe, say. What you have control over is your reactions and your responses. And in recovery, time and time again for me, and I know that I'm not alone in this, there was a real need to hold on to that truth, to let myself feel frustrated about the reality of it, but to recognize it as the truth, and to then come back to the fact that all I could do, all you can do, is focus on your path, your plate, your body, your recovery. And by doing that, you're really centering yourself in the journey that you and your body are on. And you are turning your attention and your energy towards the things that you have power over. Remember, you do not need to justify or explain yourself to others. You do not need to convince other people that recovery and the actions required for recovery are what you need to be doing. Of course, there will be people that you come across in this journey that are curious and wanting to support you, and that actually sharing resources, sharing information, talking is a really positive, constructive thing. But there are also going to be people that you come across who don't get it, won't get it, and aren't interested in getting it. And when you come across those people, it can be really natural to want with every fibre of your being to get them on board, to have them understand. But the reality is, again, you cannot, at the end of the day, control what other people choose to think, feel, do, say, believe. You can't. And so I think a deep level of accepting that is really important, of bringing yourself back to focusing on your path and your plate and standing firm in the fact that you don't owe anyone a justification or an explanation, and you certainly don't need to convince other people of what your core self knows you need to be doing for your body and for your brain and for your healing and for your recovery. So, in summary, when it comes to dealing with the people in your life who may not be accepting or respecting your journey, your recovery, set those boundaries. Think about it in terms of the fencing. Make them appropriate to the person, the situation that you're dealing with, and also make them appropriate to where you are at. When you are in a more vulnerable place, those fences may need to be bigger, firmer, stronger. And with time and consistency, and with building a stronger sense of your core self, they can start to come down in places and ways where able to. So set those boundaries. Ground yourself in your path, your plate, your body, your recovery. And remember, you cannot control what other people choose to think, feel, say, do, or believe. But what you do have control over is your actions, your responses. And that is where your power lies. So set those boundaries, focus on your path, your plate, your recovery, and own your power. Take care.